Good evening and welcome to the channel's studios here in London with your international news around the world in 5. French President Emmanuel Macron has addressed the nation a day after Prime Minister Michel Barnier was ousted in a no-confidence vote. Names for a new Prime Minister have been swirling even before Barnier tendered his resignation on Thursday morning, including centrist François Bayrou. Barnier is likely to be asked to remain in his post in the interim. His government collapsed after MPs voted overwhelmingly in support of the motion against him just 3 months after he was appointed by Macron. South Korea's President Yoon Suk-yeol is facing mounting pressure to resign over his failed attempt to impose martial law. The capital, Seoul, has seen a second day of street protests demanding Yoon's resignation, while police said he was being investigated for insurrection. South Korea was plunged into political turmoil late on Tuesday night when Mr. Yoon made the shock martial law declaration. A Georgian opposition leader has been dragged from his party office by police, and others have been physically attacked after the Prime Minister vowed that organisers of a week of pro-EU protests, which he called violent actions, would face justice. Nika Garamir, a leader from one of 4 opposition groups, was carried by his arms and legs by police from his party HQ in a side street next to Parliament in the capital Tbilisi. Other leaders were later ambushed after they met at a hotel. Nightly demonstrations have been held since last Thursday after the ruling party Georgian Dream said it was halting the country's bid to start talks on joining the EU. New York police are continuing to search for a suspect after the head of a US insurance company, UnitedHealthcare, was shot and killed in what they've called a targeted attack. CCTV imagery of the suspect in the New York shooting revealed only partial glimpses of his face. Brian Thompson was shot in the back and leg outside the Hilton Hotel in Midtown Manhattan. Investigators say the words "deny, defend and depose" were written on the shell casings recovered at the scene of the attack. The UK Prime Minister Sir Keir Starmer has announced his 6 priorities for government in a key plan for change speech. The Prime Minister, here welcoming Qatar's Emir to Downing Street yesterday, set out targets including building 1.5 million homes, fixing the NHS and delivering clean power by 2030.
Today we publish new milestones, measurable milestones, that will also give the British people the power to hold our feet to the fire. Because that accountability, that is part of how we shift the focus in Westminster towards long-term change.
A sudden ground collapse has occurred in the construction site of the Shenzhen Railway in China. Eyewitness footage shared on social media showed the aftermath of the site, which is located along a highway road in southern China's Shenzhen. China's state media reported that 13 workers remain missing on Thursday. Rescue operations are underway as investigators work to determine the cause of the accident. The price of Bitcoin has for the first time passed the $100,000 mark, hitting a new record high. The value of the world's biggest cryptocurrency was boosted by hopes US President-elect Donald Trump will adopt crypto-friendly policies. The milestone was reached hours after Mr. Trump said he would nominate former Securities and Exchange Commission Commissioner Paul Atkins to run the Wall Street regulator. Mr. Atkins is seen as being far more pro-cryptocurrency than the current head. And tens of thousands of people are expected to attend Lyon's famous Magic Lights Festival, or Fête des Lumières, to watch Louis XIV statues turned into a Christmas snowball or the project of a child's dream on a building. This year is a special year for the festival, and to celebrate its 25th anniversary, the organisers brought back 6 of the most emblematic artworks of the past 25 years. In total, 32 installations created by artists from France and beyond will light up buildings, squares and streets in the city. And that's your international news around the world in 5. Now back to the channel's studios in Lagos.